The honeybee's waggle dance. Honeybees communicate the location of food sources through a unique movement known as the waggle dance. When a bee discovers a rich source of nectar or pollen, it returns to the hive and performs a dance on the comb in a figure-8 pattern. The direction of the dance relative to the sun indicates the direction of the food source, while the duration of the waggle phase signifies the distance. This remarkable form of communication demonstrates the complexity of social interactions among insects, allowing bees to efficiently exploit their environment by sharing. The Great Wall of China's construction. The Great Wall of China, a marvel of ancient engineering, spans over 13,000 miles. Contrary to popular belief, it was not built as a single project, but rather constructed by various dynasties over centuries to protect against northern invasions. The wall we see today primarily dates back to the Ming Dynasty, 1368-1644. Builders used local materials, which means the wall is made of stone, brick, tamped earth, wood, and other materials depending on the region. The deep sea's bioluminescence. In the pitch-black depths of the ocean, many marine creatures produce their own light through a process called bioluminescence. This phenomenon occurs when organisms convert chemical energy into light energy, resulting in a variety of colors and patterns. Bioluminescence serves multiple purposes, including attracting prey, deterring predators, and facilitating communication. The deep sea, devoid of sunlight, hosts a diverse array of bioluminescent life forms, from tiny plankton to large squid, illustrating the adaptability of life in Vincent van Gogh's prolific period in Arles. Vincent van Gogh, the Dutch post-impressionist painter, experienced one of his most prolific periods in Arles, France, in 1888 to 1889. Despite struggling with mental health issues, he created over 300 paintings and drawings in just over a year. This period was marked by vibrant colors, dynamic brushstrokes, and innovative compositions. Works like The Starry Night, Sunflowers, and Café Terrace at Night were created during this time, showcasing Van Gogh's genius in The Library of Alexandria. The Library of Alexandria, established in the 3rd century BCE in Egypt, was one of the largest and most significant libraries of the ancient world. It served as a major center of scholarship and housed hundreds of thousands of scrolls encompassing knowledge from all over the known world at the time. The library's exact demise remains a mystery, with theories including a fire during Julius Caesar's invasion in 48 BCE. Its destruction symbolizes the loss of cultural and scientific knowledge, emphasizing the fragility of human achievements. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault. Located in the Arctic Circle, the Svalbard Global Seed Vault is a secure seed bank on the Norwegian island of Spitsbergen. Opened in 2008, it aims to safeguard the genetic diversity of the world's crops against global crises. The vault contains millions of seed samples from around the world, stored at -18 degrees Celsius to ensure their longevity. Its remote location and permafrost environment make it an ideal refuge for this. The phenomenon of Aurora Borealis. The Aurora Borealis, or Northern Lights, is a spectacular natural light display predominantly seen in high-latitude regions around the Arctic. This phenomenon occurs when charged particles from the sun collide with atoms in Earth's atmosphere. causing those atoms to light up. The colors of the aurora, usually greens and pinks, depend on the type of gas particles involved in the collisions. This breathtaking the Rosetta Stone and deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphs. The Rosetta Stone, discovered in 1799, was the key to deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphs, a writing system that had been a mystery for centuries. The stone features a decree issued in 196 BCE, inscribed in 3 scripts: hieroglyphic, Demotic, and Ancient Greek. The ability to read the Greek inscription allowed scholars to translate the hieroglyphs, unlocking the vast history and culture of ancient Egypt. The concept of zero. The concept of zero as a number with its own value was a revolutionary mathematical development. Originating independently in different civilizations, it was in India where the mathematical concept of zero as we know it today was fully developed around the 5th century. The symbol for zero, a dot underneath numbers, was used in ancient Indian manuscripts. The introduction of zero into the numerical system allowed for the development of algebra, calculus, and other mathematical fields. The extinction of the dodo bird. The dodo bird, a flightless bird native to Mauritius, became extinct in the late 17th century, less than 100 years after its discovery by Europeans. The dodo's extinction is often attributed to human activity, including habitat destruction, introduction of non-native species, and direct hunting. The bird's inability to fly and lack of fear towards humans made it an easy target. The dodo's extinction has become a symbol of the impact of human activity on wildlife and ecosystems, serving as a cautionary. The invention of the printing press. Johannes Gutenberg's invention of the movable type printing press around 1440 in Mainz, Germany, revolutionized the dissemination of knowledge. This invention significantly reduced the cost of producing books and other documents, making literature more accessible to the general public. The printing press is often credited with contributing to the spread of the Renaissance, the Reformation, and the scientific revolution by facilitating the theory of relativity. Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, comprising the special and general theories proposed in 1905 and 1915 respectively, transformed our understanding of space, time, and gravity. The theory introduced the concept that time and space are interwoven into a single continuum known as spacetime, and that gravity is the warping of spacetime by mass. Einstein's theory has been confirmed by numerous experiments and observations, including the bending of light by the discovery of penicillin. In 1928, Scottish bacteriologist Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin, the first true antibiotic, which has saved countless lives since its use became widespread in the 1940s. Fleming noticed that a mold, Penicillium notatum, contaminated one of his petri dishes and was killing the surrounding bacteria. This accidental discovery led to the development of penicillin, which has been used to treat a variety of bacterial infections, revolutionizing medicine and establishing the construction of the Panama Canal. Completed in 1914, the Panama Canal is a marvel of modern engineering that connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans through the Isthmus of Panama. Its construction was one of the largest and most challenging engineering projects ever undertaken, involving the excavation of over 200 million cubic yards of material. The canal significantly shortened the maritime route between the east and west coasts of the United States, facilitating international trade by providing the evolution of the Internet. The Internet, initially a project developed by the U.S. Department of Defense in the 1960s as ARPANET, has evolved into a global system of interconnected computer networks that has fundamentally changed society. It facilitates instant communication, access to a vast wealth of information, and connectivity across the globe. The development of the World Wide Web by Tim Berners-Lee in 1989 made the Internet accessible to the public, leading to the digital age. The mystery of Stonehenge. Stonehenge, located in Wiltshire, England, is a prehistoric monument consisting of a ring of standing stones, each around 13 feet high, 7 feet wide, and weighing about 25 tons. Archaeologists believe it was constructed from 3000 BCE to 2000 BCE. Its purpose remains a subject of speculation. Theories range from it being a ceremonial site, a burial ground, or an astronomical observatory. The construction techniques and transportation. Quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is a fundamental theory in physics that provides a description of the physical properties of nature at the scale of atoms and subatomic particles. Developed in the early 20th century, it introduced concepts like wave-particle duality, the uncertainty principle, and quantized energy levels. Quantum mechanics has led to the development of many technologies, such as semiconductors, lasers, and quantum computing. It challenges classical notions of causality and determinism. The formation of the Hawaiian Islands. The Hawaiian Islands are formed from volcanic activity initiated at an underwater magma source called a hotspot. As the Pacific Plate moves over this stationary hotspot, magma rises through the Earth's crust to form islands. Over millions of years, this process has created the Hawaiian island chain. Mauna Loa and Kilauea on the Big Island are among the most active volcanoes in the world. The geological activity provides valuable insights into volcanoes. The domestication of dogs. Dogs were the first domesticated animals, with evidence suggesting this occurred at least 15,000 years ago, and possibly as far back as 40,000 years ago. This domestication likely began when wolves drawn to human campsites scavenged on leftover food. Over time, humans and wolves developed a mutually beneficial relationship, with wolves evolving into dogs through processes of natural and artificial selection. Dogs helped with hunting, protection, and companionship, leading to a wide variety of breeds today. The French Revolution. The French Revolution, which began in 1789, was a period of radical social and political upheaval in France that fundamentally changed the course of French history. The revolution led to the downfall of the monarchy, rise of democracy, and eventual rise of Napoleon Bonaparte as Emperor of France. It introduced concepts of liberty, equality, and fraternity, which influenced the development of modern democratic societies. The French Revolution demonstrated the power of the people in shaping their own governance and laid the groundwork for modern political ideas. The discovery of radioactivity. In 1896, Henri Becquerel discovered radioactivity while investigating phosphorescence in uranium salts, a phenomenon where materials emit radiation spontaneously. This discovery, further explored by Marie Curie and her husband Pierre, revolutionized scientific understanding of atomic structure and led to significant advancements in medicine, such as cancer treatment through radiotherapy, and in energy, through nuclear power. The discovery of radioactivity opened new fields in physics and chemistry, challenging classical notions of matter and energy. The discovery of the New World. In 1492, Christopher Columbus's expedition, sponsored by the Spanish monarchs Ferdinand and Isabella, led to the European discovery of the New World. Although not the first European to reach the Americas, Vikings had reached Newfoundland in the 11th century. Columbus's voyages had an enormous impact on the world, leading to centuries of exploration, colonization, and cultural exchange that shaped the modern world. The consequences included the Columbian Exchange, which the Apollo moon landing. On July 20th, 1969, NASA's Apollo 11 mission successfully landed the first humans on the moon. Astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin spent about 2.5 hours walking on the lunar surface, while Michael Collins orbited above in the command module. Armstrong's first step on the moon, broadcast live on television, was watched by millions around the world, marking a monumental moment in human history and symbolizing the incredible potential of human ingenuity and the spirit of exploration. The development of vaccines. The development of vaccines has been one of the most significant achievements in public health. Edward Jenner's smallpox vaccine, introduced in 1796, was the world's first vaccine and laid the foundation for modern immunology. Vaccines work by stimulating the body's immune system to recognize and fight pathogens without causing the disease. This innovation has led to the eradication of smallpox, near elimination of polio, and significant reductions in the incidence of other infectious diseases, illustrating the profound impact of The formation of the United Nations. In the aftermath of World War II, the United Nations, UN, was established on October 24, 1945, with the aim of preventing future wars and fostering international cooperation. It replaced the League of Nations, which had failed to prevent the Second World War. The UN works on various fronts, including peacekeeping, humanitarian assistance, and addressing global challenges such as poverty, environmental degradation, and human rights abuses. The organization's formation marked a significant step toward global governance and the pursuit of peace and security for all nations. The discovery of DNA's structure. In 1953, James Watson and Francis Crick, building on the work of Rosalind Franklin and Maurice Wilkins, discovered the double helix structure of DNA, revealing the molecule's mechanism for storing and transmitting genetic information. This discovery was pivotal for the field of molecular biology, providing the foundation for understanding how genes control the development and functioning of living organisms. It has led to significant advancements in genetics, medicine, and biotechnology, including the Human Genome Project and gene editing. The Renaissance. The Renaissance was a period of profound cultural and intellectual activity in Europe from the 14th to the 17th century. Marked by a revival of interest in the classical art, literature, and learning of ancient Greece and Rome, the Renaissance led to significant developments in art, science, politics, and philosophy. Figures such as Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Galileo made groundbreaking contributions that reflected the era's spirit of inquiry and exploration. The Renaissance played a crucial role in transitioning Europe from the medieval period to the early. The sinking of the Titanic, the RMS Titanic, the largest passenger liner at the time, sank on its maiden voyage from Southampton to New York City after hitting an iceberg on April 15, 1912. Of the 2,224 passengers and crew aboard, more than 1,500 died, making it one of the deadliest commercial peacetime maritime disasters in modern history. The tragedy highlighted the inadequacies in maritime safety regulations, leading to significant reforms. The Titanic has since become a symbol of human ambition and the limitations of technological hubris. The Chernobyl nuclear disaster. On April 26, 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in the Soviet Union experienced the world's worst nuclear disaster. An explosion and fire in one of the reactors released large quantities of radioactive particles into the atmosphere, which spread over much of Western USSR and Europe. The disaster necessitated the evacuation and resettlement of over 350,000 people and resulted in countless health problems, economic losses, and environmental contamination. Chernobyl served as a grim reminder of the potential dangers of nuclear power, leading to increased scrutiny. The International Space Station, ISS. The ISS is a symbol of international cooperation in space exploration, involving 5 participating space agencies: NASA, United States; Roscosmos, Russia; JAXA, Japan; ESA, Europe; and CSA, Canada. Launched in 1998, it serves as a microgravity and space environment research laboratory in which scientific research is conducted in astrobiology, astronomy, meteorology, physics, and other fields. The ISS orbits the Earth approximately every 90 minutes, offering a unique vantage point for observing. The invention of the wheel. The wheel, invented around 3,500 BCE in Mesopotamia, is one of humanity's oldest and most significant inventions. Initially used in pottery and later for wagons and chariots, it revolutionized transport, agriculture, and warfare. The wheel's design and utility evolved over centuries, leading to the development of gears, water wheels, and ultimately modern machinery and vehicles. This simple yet transformative invention underscores human ingenuity's role in technology. The fall of the Berlin Wall. On November 9, 1989, the Berlin Wall, which had divided East and West Berlin since 1961, was effectively brought down. This event symbolized the end of the Cold War and the beginning of German reunification. The wall's fall was precipitated by a series of peaceful protests and political changes in the Eastern Bloc, leading to the opening of the wall's gates. It marked a significant moment in European history, leading to increased freedom and the eventual collapse. The creation of the World Wide Web. Tim Berners-Lee, a British computer scientist, invented the World Wide Web in 1989 while working at CERN. The web was designed to meet the demand for automatic information sharing between scientists in universities and institutes around the world. It fundamentally changed how information is transmitted and accessed, enabling the easy publication and retrieval of information through hyperlinks. The web's introduction to the public domain in the early 1990s led to the Internet explosion. The extinction of the passenger pigeon. Once the most abundant bird in North America, the passenger pigeon went extinct in the early 20th century. The species' population decline from billions to zero within just a few decades is attributed to massive-scale hunting and habitat destruction. The last known passenger pigeon, named Martha, died in the Cincinnati Zoo in 1914. This extinction highlighted the impact of human activity on wildlife and has served as a poignant reminder of the importance of conservation efforts to protect endangered species. The discovery of the Americas by Vikings. Before Christopher Columbus's arrival in 1492, Norse explorers, commonly known as Vikings, reached North America around the year 1000. Led by Leif Erikson, they established a settlement in present-day Newfoundland, Canada, known as Las O Meadows. This site, discovered in the 1960s, confirmed the Vikings' presence in North America and represents the earliest known European exploration of the continent. The Vikings' journeys to the New World. The development of the periodic table. Dmitry Mendeleev, a Russian chemist, developed the periodic table of elements in 1869. His table organized the 63 known elements based on atomic mass and chemical properties, predicting the existence and properties of elements not yet discovered. Mendeleev's periodic table has since been expanded and refined, now organized by atomic number, but remains a fundamental tool in chemistry for understanding the relationships between elements. The Salem Witch Trials. In 1692, the Salem witch trials occurred in colonial Massachusetts, where more than 200 people were accused of practicing witchcraft and 20 were executed. This episode is one of the most notorious cases of mass hysteria and has been extensively analyzed in sociological and historical contexts. It reflects the dangers of superstition, isolation, and the breakdown of community cohesion, as well as the role of fear and suspicion in driving societal actions. The invention of the light bulb. Thomas Edison is often credited with the invention of the light bulb in 1879, but his work built upon previous inventions by creating a practical, long-lasting electric light. Edison's light bulb used a carbon filament, significantly improving the bulb's efficiency and commercial viability. The invention of the light bulb revolutionized society, extending the workday and improving life quality. It marked the beginning of the electrical age, leading to the widespread use of the formation of the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon, one of the world's natural wonders, was formed by the Colorado River cutting through the rock over millions of years. Geological evidence suggests the canyon began forming at least 5 to 6 million years ago, with the river gradually carving out a channel through layers of rock. The Grand Canyon is renowned for its overwhelming size, intricate and colorful landscape, and geological significance, offering insights into Earth's history through the exposed strata in its walls. The discovery of insulin. In 1921, Canadian scientists Frederick Banting and Charles Best discovered insulin, revolutionizing the treatment of diabetes. Before insulin, diabetes was a fatal disease. The discovery of insulin turned it into a manageable condition. Banting and Best, along with chemist James Collip and physiologist J.J.R. MacLeod, isolated and purified insulin for human use, earning Banting and MacLeod the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 1923. The Taj Mahal's construction. The Taj Mahal, located in Agra, India, is an ivory-white marble mausoleum built by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal, who died during childbirth in 1631. Construction began in 1632 and was completed in 1653, involving thousands of artisans and craftsmen. The Taj Mahal is renowned for its magnificent architecture, intricate details, and symmetrical beauty, symbolizing India's rich history and cultural heritage. The Battle of Thermopylae. In 480 BCE, the Battle of Thermopylae was fought between an alliance of Greek city-states, led by King Leonidas of Sparta, and the Persian Empire of Xerxes I. Despite being vastly outnumbered, the Greeks held off the Persian army for 3 days in a narrow pass before being outflanked. Leonidas and his 300 Spartans, along with a few hundred other Greeks, fought to the death. The battle is celebrated as an example of courage against overwhelming odds and has become a symbol of the origin of languages. The study of the origin of languages is a complex field that spans linguistics, anthropology, and cognitive science. While the precise origins remain uncertain, it is believed that human language developed from pre-linguistic systems of communication among our hominid ancestors. Linguists estimate that proto-languages, common ancestors of language families, existed tens of thousands of years ago. The diversity of languages today, with over 7,000 known. The Green Revolution. The Green Revolution refers to a series of research, development, and technology transfer initiatives that took place between the 1940s and the late 1960s, which significantly increased agricultural production worldwide, particularly in developing countries. Spearheaded by scientists like Norman Borlaug, these efforts introduced high-yield crop varieties, chemical fertilizers, and irrigation methods that transformed food production, saving billions from starvation. However, the Green Revolution also led to environmental issues. The Magna Carta's significance. Signed in 1215, the Magna Carta was a charter agreed to by King John of England at Runnymede, near Windsor, at the behest of his rebellious barons. It is considered one of the first steps toward a constitutional law in England, establishing the principle that everyone, including the king, was subject to the law. Although many of its clauses have been modified or repealed, the Magna Carta remains a cornerstone of British democracy and has influenced legal systems worldwide, embodying the ideals of the Sistine Chapel ceiling, painted by Michelangelo. Between 1508 and 1512, the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in Vatican City is one of the most renowned artworks of the Renaissance. Commissioned by Pope Julius II, Michelangelo painted over 300 figures across 9 panels depicting scenes from the Book of Genesis, with the central panels illustrating stories of the creation, Adam and Eve, and Noah. The ceiling, with its complex compositions and vibrant colors, showcases Michelangelo's mastery of human anatomy and his The Manhattan Project. The Manhattan Project was a research and development undertaking during World War II that produced the first nuclear weapons. Led by the United States with the support of the United Kingdom and Canada, it gathered some of the greatest scientific minds of the time, including J. Robert Oppenheimer, Enrico Fermi, and Richard Feynman. The project culminated in the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945, leading to the evolution of the computer. The history of computers dates back thousands of years, from ancient tools like the abacus to modern high-speed digital computers. The development of the electronic computer in the 20th century, starting with machines like the ENIAC in the 1940s, revolutionized technology, enabling complex calculations and data processing at unprecedented speeds. The invention of the microprocessor in the 1970s led to the proliferation of personal computers, fundamentally changing society by facilitating the spread of information. The Voyager space probes, launched by NASA in 1977, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 were designed to take advantage of a rare planetary alignment to explore the outer planets. They provided humanity with the first detailed images of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Voyager 1 is now the most distant human-made object in space, having entered interstellar space. Both probes carry a golden record containing sounds and images selected to portray the diversity of life and culture on Earth, intended as a message. The impact of Gutenberg's printing press on literacy. Johannes Gutenberg's invention of the printing press in the 15th century dramatically increased the accessibility of books and literacy in Europe. By making books more affordable and available, the printing press facilitated a wider distribution of knowledge and ideas. This democratization of information led to significant cultural, political, and religious transformations, including the Reformation and the Renaissance. The increased literacy rate also spurred innovations in science, technology, and education, laying the groundwork for the modern knowledge-based economy. The discovery of Pluto. Once considered the 9th planet in our solar system, Pluto was discovered in 1930 by American astronomer Clyde Tombaugh at the Lowell Observatory in Arizona. The discovery was the result of a systematic search for a 9th planet, which was hypothesized due to irregularities in Neptune's orbit. Pluto's classification as a planet was re-evaluated in 2006 by the International Astronomical Union, which reclassified it as a dwarf planet due to its size and the discovery of other similar-sized objects in the Kuiper Belt. The Industrial Revolution. Beginning in the late 18th century in Britain, the Industrial Revolution marked a major turning point in history, transforming societies from agrarian economies to industrial powerhouses. Innovations in machinery, transportation, and manufacturing processes boosted production capabilities and efficiency. The revolution spread globally, reshaping economies, social structures, and urban landscapes. It played a key role in the development of the modern capitalist economy, but also led to significant social and environmental challenges, including labor exploitation and the discovery of X-rays. In 1895, German physicist Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen discovered X-rays, a form of electromagnetic radiation. This accidental discovery occurred while experimenting with cathode rays, leading to the first X-ray photograph of his wife's hand. X-rays revolutionized medical diagnostics by allowing doctors to view the inside of the body without surgery. Röntgen's discovery, for which he received the first Nobel Prize in Physics in 1901, opened new fields in science and medicine, including radiology and cancer treatment. The invention of the compass. The magnetic compass, a critical tool for navigation, was first used by the Chinese during the Song dynasty, 960–1279. It allowed mariners to navigate the open seas with greater accuracy, facilitating long-distance exploration and trade. The compass spread to Europe and the Arab world by the 12th century, contributing to the Age of Discovery and the expansion of European empires. Its invention marked a significant milestone in human exploration, transforming global commerce, cultural exchange, and geopolitical landscapes. The Battle of Waterloo. Fought on June 18, 1815, the Battle of Waterloo was a decisive confrontation that ended Napoleon Bonaparte's rule as Emperor of the French and marked the end of his 100 days' return from exile. The battle near Waterloo in present-day Belgium saw the French army defeated by the 7th Coalition, led by the Duke of Wellington and Prussian Field Marshal Gebhard Leberecht von Blücher. Waterloo effectively concluded the Napoleonic Wars, leading to a period of relative peace in Europe known as the Concert of Europe. The construction of the Pyramids of Giza. The Pyramids of Giza, built during Egypt's 4th dynasty, c. 2580, c. 2560 BCE, are among the most famous and enduring symbols of ancient Egyptian civilization. The largest, the Great Pyramid of Khufu, is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. These monumental tombs were constructed to house the remains of deceased pharaohs and demonstrate remarkable engineering skills and labor organization. Their construction still intrigues historians and archaeologists today, with theories. The signing of the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence, a seminal document in American history, was adopted by the Second Continental Congress on July 4, 1776. It announced the 13 American colonies' separation from British rule. Drafted primarily by Thomas Jefferson, the Declaration articulated the colonies' grievances against the British Crown and asserted the right to self-governance based on principles of equality and individual rights. This pivotal moment led to the American Revolutionary War and the birth of the United States. The invention of paper. Paper was invented in China by Kai Lun during the Eastern Han Dynasty around 105 CE. Before this invention, writing materials were primarily made from papyrus, bamboo, and silk, which were either too fragile or expensive. Papermaking revolutionized record-keeping, literature, and education, making the written word accessible to a broader segment of society. The technique spread along the Silk Road, reaching the Islamic world by the 8th century and Europe by the 12th century, The unification of Italy. The process of Italian unification, or Risorgimento, was a complex and tumultuous series of political and military events that led to the consolidation of different states of the Italian peninsula into the single nation of Italy in 1861. Figures such as Giuseppe Garibaldi, Camillo Benso, Count of Cavour, and Victor Emmanuel II played key roles in the unification efforts, which were driven by nationalist sentiments. The newly formed Kingdom of Italy was a significant event in European history. The creation of the Internet. The development of the Internet began in the 1960s as a way to enable government researchers to share information over distances. The initial project, ARPANET, funded by the U.S. Department of Defense, laid the groundwork for the Internet we know today. This network evolved through the introduction of protocols like TCP/IP in the 1980s, which standardized data transmission, leading to the expansion of network infrastructure and services. The Internet's growth has transformed the Wright brothers' first flight. On December 17, 1903, Orville and Wilbur Wright made the first controlled, powered, and sustained heavier-than-air human flight near Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Their aircraft, the Wright Flyer, flew for 12 seconds, covering 120 feet. This landmark achievement in aviation history marked the beginning of the aerial age, leading to significant advancements in transportation and military technology. The Wright brothers' innovative design and successful flight demonstrated the potential for the Chernobyl disaster. The Chernobyl disaster was a catastrophic nuclear accident that occurred on April 26, 1986, at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in the Soviet Union. It is considered the worst nuclear disaster in history, both in terms of cost and casualties. The explosion and fire released large quantities of radioactive particles into the atmosphere, which spread over much of Western USSR and Europe. The disaster highlighted the dangers of nuclear power, leading to changes in safety protocols and the fall of Constantinople. The fall of Constantinople in 1453 marked the end of the Byzantine Empire, when the Ottoman Turks, led by Sultan Mehmed II, captured the capital. This event is seen as a pivotal moment in world history, signaling the end of the Middle Ages and the beginning of the Renaissance and modern era. It led to the spread of Greek scholars and their knowledge to the West, igniting the Renaissance, and shifted the balance of power in the Mediterranean, paving the way for the age of exploration. The discovery of insulin. Canadian scientists Frederick Banting and Charles Best discovered insulin in 1921, transforming diabetes from a fatal disease to a manageable condition. Their work, done at the University of Toronto, led to the first successful treatment of diabetes with insulin in 1922. This breakthrough earned Banting and his colleague John MacLeod the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 1923, highlighting the importance of medical research. The invention of the automobile. The automobile, a pivotal invention in modern history, transformed personal and commercial transportation. Carl Benz is credited with inventing the first true automobile in 1885-1886. This vehicle was powered by an internal combustion engine, a significant advancement over previous attempts at motorized transport. The mass production of automobiles pioneered by Henry Ford in the early 20th century made cars affordable and accessible to the general public, reshaping The Battle of Stalingrad. The Battle of Stalingrad, 1942 to 1943, was a turning point in World War II, marking the end of Germany's advances into Eastern Europe and Russia. This brutal conflict between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union resulted in significant losses on both sides, with civilian and military casualties reaching into the millions. The Soviet victory at Stalingrad halted the German advance, boosting Allied morale and setting the stage for the eventual defeat of Nazi Germany. The invention of the microscope. The microscope, invented in the late 16th century by Dutch spectacle makers, including Hans Janssen and his son Zacharias Janssen, revolutionized the field of biology. It allowed scientists to observe organisms and structures too small to be seen with the naked eye, leading to groundbreaking discoveries in cell biology, microbiology, and medicine. Antony van Leeuwenhoek later improved the microscope, becoming the first to observe bacteria and protozoa. The sinking of the Lusitania. The RMS Lusitania, a British ocean liner, was sunk by a German U-boat on May 7, 1915, during World War I. The sinking resulted in the deaths of 1,198 passengers and crew, including 128 Americans, and played a significant role in turning public opinion in neutral countries against Germany. This event contributed to the United States' decision to enter the war in 1917, illustrating the impact of warfare on society. The development of the atomic bomb. The development of the atomic bomb during World War II under the Manhattan Project represented a significant leap in military technology. Led by the United States with the participation of the United Kingdom and Canada, this secret project culminated in the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. The atomic bomb's devastating power led to Japan's surrender, ending World War II, but also introduced the nuclear age, raising ethical, strategic, and diplomatic questions that continue to influence global security discussions. The Battle of Agincourt. Fought on October 25, 1415, during the 100 Years' War, the Battle of Agincourt saw a numerically inferior English army, led by King Henry V, decisively defeat a larger French force. The battle is notable for the effectiveness of the English longbow, a weapon that allowed the English to inflict heavy casualties on the French knights. Agincourt became a symbol of English nationalism and military prowess, celebrated in literature and folklore, most famously in William Shakespeare's play Henry V. The invention of the Internet. A pivotal development in modern technology, the Internet originated from research commissioned by the United States government in the 1960s to build robust, fault-tolerant communication via computer networks. The introduction of the TCP/IP protocol in the 1980s expanded its capabilities, leading to the development of the World Wide Web by Tim Berners-Lee in 1989, which revolutionized how information is shared and accessed. Today, the Internet is integral to various aspects of daily life, including education, commerce, communication, and entertainment, reflecting its impact on global society. The fall of the Berlin Wall. On November 9, 1989, the Berlin Wall, a symbol of the Cold War division between East and West Germany, was opened, leading to the reunification of Germany. The fall of the wall marked the beginning of the collapse of communist governments in Eastern Europe and the end of the Cold War. It is celebrated as a moment of liberation and a significant step towards German reunification, reflecting the power of peaceful protest and the desire for freedom and democracy. The formation of the League of Nations. Established in 1920 after World War I, the League of Nations was the first worldwide intergovernmental organization whose principal mission was to maintain world peace. Though it ultimately failed to prevent World War II, the League laid the groundwork for the United Nations and introduced concepts of collective security, dispute resolution, and the international cooperation that remain central to global diplomacy today. The partition of India. In 1947, the partition of India led to the creation of two independent dominions, India and Pakistan, marking the end of British colonial rule in the subcontinent. This event was accompanied by significant violence, mass migrations, and the displacement of millions based on religious identity. The partition had lasting impacts on the regional politics, relations between India and Pakistan, and the communal identities within both nations, underscoring the complexities of decolonization and national boundary drawing. The development of the periodic table. Dmitri Mendeleev's creation of the periodic table in 1869 organized the known elements based on atomic mass and chemical properties, predicting the existence and properties of elements not yet discovered. This organization system has been fundamental to the advancement of chemistry, allowing scientists to understand element relationships, properties, and reactions. The periodic table remains a crucial tool for teaching chemistry, highlighting the ongoing relevance of Mendeleev's work in scientific education and research. The invention of the light bulb. Thomas Edison and his team perfected the incandescent light bulb in 1879, a development that illuminated homes and cities, extending productive hours and improving safety and quality of life. The light bulb became a symbol of innovation and progress, catalyzing the growth of the electric utility industry and transforming the way people lived and worked. This invention marked a significant step forward in the application of electricity, demonstrating the potential for technological innovations to drive societal change. The discovery of electricity. Electricity's discovery and subsequent understanding and harnessing mark one of the most significant achievements in human history. While electricity itself is a natural phenomenon, its scientific exploration spanned centuries, with pivotal contributions from figures like Benjamin Franklin, Michael Faraday, and Nikola Tesla. The development of electrical technology facilitated the Second Industrial Revolution, transforming industries, transportation, and daily life with innovation. The fall of the Roman Empire. The decline of the Roman Empire was a protracted process that culminated in the fall of Rome in 476 CE, when the Germanic chieftain Odoacer deposed the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus. This event marked the end of the ancient world and the beginning of the Middle Ages in Western Europe. The empire's fall was attributed to a variety of factors, including economic instability, military defeats, and the invention of the steam engine. The steam engine, developed in the 18th century, was a critical innovation that powered the Industrial Revolution. Invented by Thomas Newcomen and significantly improved by James Watt, the steam engine facilitated major advancements in mining, manufacturing, and transportation. By converting the energy stored in steam into motion, it enabled more efficient production processes and the development of railways, ships, and factories, significantly impacting economic and social structures worldwide. Quantum mechanics. Developed in the early 20th century by scientists including Max Planck, Niels Bohr, and Werner Heisenberg, quantum mechanics revolutionized our understanding of particles at the smallest scales. This fundamental theory of physics explains the behavior of matter and energy on the atomic and subatomic levels, introducing concepts like wave-particle duality and quantum entanglement. Quantum mechanics has profound implications for technology, including the development of semiconductors, lasers, and quantum computers, challenging classical notions of reality and opening new frontiers in scientific research. The invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg. In the mid-15th century, Johannes Gutenberg's invention of the movable type printing press revolutionized the production of books, making them more accessible and affordable. This innovation facilitated the spread of knowledge, literacy, and ideas, significantly impacting the Renaissance, the Reformation, and the scientific revolution. Gutenberg's press is considered one of the most important inventions of the second millennium, fundamentally changing society by democratizing information. The theory of relativity. Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, comprising the special theory, 1905, and the general theory, 1915, fundamentally altered our understanding of physics, introducing concepts such as the equivalence of mass and energy, E cost mc squared, and the curvature of spacetime by gravity. These insights have had profound implications for cosmology, astrophysics, and technology, influencing the development of technologies such as GPS and understanding the universe's structure and the behavior of objects in extreme gravitational fields. The Green Revolution. The Green Revolution refers to the period from the 1940s to the late 1960s when significant increases in crop production were achieved in developing countries through the introduction of high-yielding crop varieties, use of chemical fertilizers, and improved irrigation techniques. Spearheaded by agronomist Norman Borlaug, this agricultural transformation helped to alleviate hunger and boost food security globally, although it also brought environmental challenges such as increased pesticide use and water depletion. The fall of the Roman Empire. The decline and fall of the Roman Empire, culminating in 476 CE with the ousting of the last emperor, Romulus Augustulus, marked the end of ancient Rome and the beginning of the Middle Ages in Western Europe. This transition was characterized by the fragmentation of the empire due to various factors, including economic instability, military losses, and internal corruption. The fall of Rome had a lasting impact on European culture, politics, and society, leading to the feudal system and shaping the development of Western civilization. The Discovery of the New World by Christopher Columbus. In 1492, Christopher Columbus, sponsored by the Spanish monarchy, embarked on an expedition seeking a westward sea passage to Asia, but instead encountered the Americas. This event marked the beginning of extensive European exploration and colonization of the American continents, profoundly impacting global history through the exchange of cultures, populations, and goods, as well as the devastating effects on indigenous peoples. The invention of vaccination by Edward Jenner. In 1796, Edward Jenner introduced the concept of vaccination, using material from cowpox blisters to successfully immunize against smallpox, a deadly disease. This breakthrough laid the foundation for modern immunology and public health, leading to the eventual eradication of smallpox and significantly reducing the impact of various infectious diseases through immunization programs. The Industrial Revolution. Beginning in Britain in the late 18th century, the Industrial Revolution marked a major shift from agrarian, handicraft economies to industrialized, machine-based production. This era introduced significant technological innovations such as the steam engine, mechanized textiles, and iron production methods, drastically changing social, economic, and environmental landscapes, fueling urbanization and laying the groundwork for modern industrial society. The construction of the Panama Canal. Completed in 1914, the Panama Canal is a monumental engineering feat that connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, significantly shortening maritime travel time and influencing global trade patterns. Its construction faced enormous challenges, including disease and difficult terrain, and had a profound impact on geopolitics, commerce, and the engineering field. The signing of the Magna Carta. In 1215, King John of England was compelled by rebel barons to sign the Magna Carta, a document limiting royal authority and establishing legal principles that laid the groundwork for parliamentary democracy and constitutional law. The Magna Carta is celebrated as a symbol of the rule of law and has influenced the development of legal systems worldwide. The Apollo moon landing. The Apollo 11 mission in 1969 marked the first time humans landed on the moon, with astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walking on its surface. This historic achievement in space exploration, part of the U.S. Apollo program, showcased human ingenuity and the potential for space travel, igniting imaginations and contributing to our understanding of space and Earth.